Good morning. This is Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. We're going to start with our word of the day. We're going to end with our quote of the day. And in between, we're going to look at the markets, what news is moving the markets, and where the big money is flowing. And I may show a little bit more about where I'm investing and why I'm doing it. And in the meantime, sit back and enjoy. So our word of the day is bocce. Bocce is an Italian game similar to lawn bowling, but played on a shorter, narrower green. That is a word of the day, bocce. We're going to move on to our heat map. Stop our share. Here is the heat map so far. Interesting. Microsoft seems to be bouncing around a little bit. It was up 1.25% earlier, and now it's down. NVIDIA is bouncing around as well. We just saw 3.79% up, and now it's up 2%. Apple is up slightly. They got a bad analyst report yesterday saying about lack of interest in iPhone 17. Amazon, some of the leisure activities are up. So that is the story there. First, we're going to take a look at the indexes. We're going to stop our share, go to our charts. Palantir kind of sold off today, fell below its 10-day moving average. It's down, was down, I believe, 3.58% at the open, and it is trying to recover a little bit as people buy in this drop. So here is the financials. Financials are continue to move up. Look at Wells Fargo, pretty flat. JP Morgan. I'm not sure where all the movement is, but look at KBWB. Continues up as well, up 0.44%. The leading index has been this ITA, and it is just taken off again. I think this was the leading stock. Tried to climb higher and then sold off. There's energy. So if you want to take a look at ITA, you can go look at what are some of the leading issues in there. Communications, this is where Google and Meta are. Meta tried to climb, it's right in, looks like in the middle of its range right now, up 0.55%. And Google is pretty flat. Interesting. Look at AT&T is up slightly. Maybe Verizon. Verizon is up 0.27%. See if we can get T-Mobile to come up. I'll look for that one. I'm going to look at that later. On to XLU. Utilities continue to move forward. Let's see if we can keep them going. Real estate. is up quite a bit today, up 1.22%. Biotech up slightly. Our other biotech is up slightly as well. Software continues moving higher in the pivot zone. Technology continues moving. Infrastructure got a nice move today, nearly up 1.5%. Look at road. It's in the pivot zone here. Semiconductors. Somebody was saying yesterday it's a new transportation index. Airlines. Got a nice move in airlines. Leisure activity above the 200-day moving average for the first time. RCL is really moving today. Getting pretty close to the profit zone, so it's kind of extended to get into it. Viking and CCL. Moving on. Industrials. Deere. Caterpillar looks like is moving on up. Might be a good time to buy this one. Looks like yesterday was kind of a breakout on Caterpillar. Continuing on, Excel Healthcare is finally moving up. Consumer discretionary up 0.65 as well. Building materials trying to get up to the 200-day moving average. Metals and mining. Home builders. We'll see if these guys can get a breakout. Mortgage rates, as we said yesterday, 4 months in a row have declined. And uranium. Let's pull them back a little bit here. So let us go over to our news items. Before we do that, let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin had sold off quite a bit here. Came down to 106,612, and now is definitely got some buying coming into it. So here's our news. U.S. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to share Bitcoin price movement. Stop the share for a second. Here is Bitcoin. As you can see, came down here, came up, and then came down again, and now it is definitely rising. Now we're going to go back to our charts and move on to the news. So U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick confirms newly signed China deal includes rare earth deliveries to the U.S. with shipments expected soon. In return, the U.S. will lift curbs on ethane exports to China once the rare deliveries begin, making a key trade exchange. U.S. Commerce Secretary Lutnick indicated that U.S. has plans to reach agreements with 10 major trading partners China's industrial profits plunged 9.1%, steepest fall in 7 months. Cumulative profits at major industrial firms fell 1.1% the first 5 months of 2025 compared to a year earlier. So that is that. On to our consumer news. Nike is in the news. Q4 EPS 14 cents versus 13 cents. Wow, just a 1 cent improvement and on a decline of 86%. I guess they were expecting a bigger decline, is up almost 18% today. American Outdoors, Q4 adjusted EPS 13 cents versus a loss of 11 cents. You would think this would be moving up higher, but I guess people were expecting much greater growth. This was up, EPS was up almost 1,000%. EBITDA was 3.5 million versus estimate of 0.621 million on sales of 61.942 million. Apparently there's some uncertainty moving forward. This may have hit the stock a little bit. On to Li Auto, updated its delivery outlook for the second quarter of 2025. Company now expects to deliver approximately 108,000 vehicles in the second quarter, compared to its previously issued delivery outlook of 123 to 128,000. And so it gapped down on that news. It is fighting back, but that is the story there. Lulu Athletica files for mixed shelf size not disclosed. It's actually moving up on that, up 2%. Uber and Lyft both downgraded to hold from buy at Canaccord. Unilever is paying $1.5 billion to buy men's personal care brand Dr. Squatch from a private equity firm, Summit Partners, the Financial Times reported. And Unilever is up 0.5%. Onto energy, industrial, and materials. Apogee Enterprises Q1 adjusted EPS 5 cents versus estimate 45 cents. Actually 50 cents versus 45 cents. And they initially moved up and have profit taking came in shortly afterwards. Total Energies has signed an agreement to acquire 25% interest held by Movi in Block 53 offshore Suriname, joining APA and Petronas as partner in this license. And they are pretty flat for the day. On to financials. Reddit is racing to protect online communities. Is this really financial? I'm just going to adjust this. Sure is. Racing to protect its online communities from a surge of AI-generated content with authenticity of the human interaction on its platform, increasingly valuable to new AI-powered search tools, according to the Financial Times. Reddit is sold off initially and trying to fight back. W.R. Berkeley downgraded. I hit the wrong key and my news went away. So W.R. Berkeley is bouncing back after initial sell-off, downgraded to hold from buy at TD Cowen. Healthcare. Achieve Life Sciences, 15 million shares spot secondary, priced at $3. And it gaps down on that news. People don't like to be diluted mostly. Bosch and Lomb announces closing of upsized 675 million euro senior secured notes offering partial credit agreement refinancing, including upsized 2.325 billion term loan facility, said proceeds used to repay outstanding borrowings. And they are up 3.73% on that news. Bristol Myers used to be called Bristol Myers Squibb, but now it is just Bristol Myers, I guess, said the FDA has approved label updates for both of its CAR T-cell therapies, Breyanzi for the treatment of large B-cell lymphoma and other lymphomas, and Abecma for the treatment of multiple myeloma. On to CorMedix, announced 85 million common stock offering, and this one drops 16.24% on that news. Wow, that's a big drop. Chimera Therapeutics, 5.043 share spot secondary, price at 44. It's off 2.6%. This is where you want to be able to read the tea leaves, read the news, and see if they have approved the secondary offering, because this could definitely affect your holdings. Technology, media, and telecom. So Google is upgraded to outperform from market perform at Citizens JMP with a $220 price target. Concentric, Q2 adjusted EPS 270 versus 275. Initially sold off and is now bouncing back, almost getting into the pivot area. DNOW and MRC Global to combine in an all-stock transaction, creating a premier energy and industrial solutions provider is DNOW. So DNOW is up 7.44%. And MRC, I would think, would be up further. It's up 14.26%. On interesting, Google was downgraded to neutral at another firm at BNP Paribas Exane, and Amazon was upgraded at the same firm. Amazon gaps up a little bit in the morning. It's now up 1.04%. DeepSeek's R2 model faces delays due to shortage of NVIDIA server chips in China, exacerbated by the ban of NVIDIA's H20 chips, information reports. Trade Desk upgraded to outperform from in line at Evercore ISI from unchanged price target of $90. That's a $20 boost from where it is today, saying recent channel checks have indicated that online advertising demand sentiment has clearly improved since May. Through second half of 2025, uncertainty remains significant. So that is our news of the day. Now we're going to go over and see where the big money is flowing. Got a couple of screens we're going to look at. GE Aerospace came up here, broke out of this pivot, pulled back to the 20-day moving average. Any bounce above the 20-day average is a good place to add or possibly buy. And it's right now in the profit area. It's up 3.42%. Let's see what else is moving in that category. Yeah, Rocket Lab continues to perform well. Rocket Lab is up another 1.41%. Here's another one in the same sector, that ITA index. Howmet Aerospace up 4.21% today. It is pretty far extended from where you'd want to buy, but if you're in it, congratulations, it keeps going up. Kratos Defense and Security. I guess this is another one in the aerospace. It is going up. Mercury Systems provides secure processing for commercial critical defense intelligence applications. Comes into the pivot area. Got some blue bars here, but they're not really accelerating the red bars that we had over here previously. We'll see if it can get volume to continue to come in here. Okay, EVA Technologies, look at that one take off. Right around 822 would have been the buy point. And look at that gain. Yeah, 900% gain from pivot in 173 days. Royal Caribbean is about ready to hit the profit-taking zone up here. It's up 20% from the profit pivot in 23 days. William O'Neill, who started Investors Business Daily, where this market surge chart system is from. He recommended 20 to 25% you take of your profits and then move on to your next investment. IREN, Australia-based Bitcoin mining company, is really taken off. Interesting. Let's see. Core Scientific may be in other group that I'm going to look at. Guardant Health. Had this shallow sell-off here, and now it is in the buy zone. Just moving over to check out this other list that we bring up. Him and hers trying to recover after that big sell-off from, I believe it was NVO. EchoStar got a big bounce. Earnings aren't for 33 days, so it has to be news related. You may want to check into that further if you want to find out more information. NRG Energy had a pretty nice bounce yesterday, has a continuation bounce today. Even though the volume is low, the price beats volume any day. Head over to my other list here. American Sports had this nice kind of consolidation in the profit zone, right in between the 10 and 20-day moving average. And now it's kind of lifting off here. Got nice kind of blue bars in here. This is higher than the past few days. I think we looked at CCL has two different stocks. They have the overseas holdings and then this and the other one that we looked at earlier. We did look at GE in the news. And this is National Grocers. It really needs to get above the 200 and possibly the 50-day moving average, but you could continue to watch this. I'm going to go back to my other list and see if there's anything else of note. Chart Industries got above the 200-day and is got a continuation bounce here. We're going to just go over and take a look at the big cap tech. Tesla selling off. It is getting some support of the 10 and 20-day moving average. So you could continue to watch that. We looked at Google and Amazon. There's Apple. It's riding kind of a tight formation here. We'll just see if it can get some positive news about their operation and see if it can move higher. Meta continues moving higher. I believe they have an 810 price point that one of the analysts has put out on them. Netflix just continues to ride higher. It's just simply amazing. Nvidia is in the profit zone, right? Or in the pivot zone here. Put on a buy here. It's a possibility it could do something like this. And come up like this. But we'll just continue to watch that. Microsoft. We'll see if it can get above 500 here. And not sure if I missed anything in the big cap tech. Just go over my portfolio. Continue to hold small portion in Rigetti Computing for the long term. As I said, bought this around 8. Initially, I bought this at 250 and wish I'd sold up around here. It sold around 15. We are in MetU. Have a small account, so I didn't really have a price point I could buy Meta itself. So I bought this 2 times Meta and still doing well. The strategy. It's working on a base here. We'll see if Bitcoin can help us out and have a breakout. If it gets to 110, 111, I would think that would be a breakout there. And Palantir. It's pulling back a little bit. May get down to the 20-day moving average. We'll see if it gets a bounce from there. Right now it's getting a bounce as it got close. WGS. We had experiences nasty fall. Was so negative that I just decided to hang on to this, and it has bounced since then. So we're back in the money. I believe it's up 6% now. GEV continues to move higher, So we'll see if it can get into the profit zone. And just trying to think of what other, so we have NVIDIA. And we'll put it on a close for now. I'm going to go to our quote of the day. Quote of the day. So I'm going to share our new screen. Quote of the day is from my favorite trader, Jesse Livermore. Jesse Livermore is someone who most traders follow greatly. He set up the rules that most traders, successful traders, follow. And this is his quote: "Few people ever make money on tips. Beware of inside information. If there was easy money lying around, no one would be forcing it into your pocket." I love that quote. Well, that's all for today. Go out there and make a difference. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you again tomorrow.